my goodness, I've got a reindeer with me. It's Miriam Freer here from ENJO, and here we are hoping that 4G will last for a good half an hour, and I found a reindeer floating by on their way to the North Pole, so you've kindly stopped off to give me a help.
Yeah.
That's very decent of you, because officially tomorrow it is the 1st of December. That's very exciting. So here we are, Mondays with Miriam, episode, that should say, 38. And Rebekah has drawn us a little reindeer there. It's not a lightning bolt. And we are going to talk about a review of the year so far, we thought. So, well, first of all, let's get the news out the way, because who knows how long this may last us with the internet. So firstly, I just want to say thank you for everybody who's joined us this year. We're just going to take a brief break over... Hi, Beverlicious. We're going to take a brief break over the Advent period, but we will be on, won't we? With little tips as we go along. And if there are specials, we'll hop on with those too. But we thought maybe you would like a little break from us for the rest of the year. Yes, I have a lovely reindeer right here. Apparently, the reindeer says, have I been naughty or nice? Have I been naughty or nice? Oh, it appears that it's a little in the balance.
Nice.
So, oh, nice, good. That means a very large present for me on Christmas Day. Good. So, I think we should just have a review, and there are some questions as we go along. So, get your ears wiggling. Do you remember when we started?
Yeah.
Tell me about the first episode. What do you remember?
You were really nervous.
I was really nervous. You're right. I was really nervous. I was like, how am I going to do this live? And?
You rehearsed for half an hour.
I rehearsed for ages to talk to you because I was really scared about it. But can you remember anything that we spoke about? Maybe not?
No.
Okay, we spoke about cleaning chemicals and the climate crisis in relation to cleaning chemicals, and then we said that ENJO isn't a whole solution, but cleaning with water is part of a solution. All right, so I've got some statistics from that one. Would you like to hear them? Okay, so there is a fantastic, if you haven't read it, get onto enjo.co.uk page. And if you look on the top bar, so this isn't on the Facebook page, this is on the main web page. If you go onto the top bar, there's a great thing that says blog. And go in there, there is a paper called The Dirty Business of Cleaning. And I really encourage you to have a read of that. It's got all sorts of eye-opening, jaw-dropping statistics in it. But one of those was, we spoke about chemicals that, using chemicals around the home is like smoking 20 cigarettes a day. Mm-hmm. And we also said that the University of Bergen had looked and discovered that if you have 4 chemical sprays that you use in your home, the incidence of somebody having asthma in the home was really high. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot, isn't it? And a lot of these things are airborne. Yeah. So who gets most effective? Who's nearer the ground? Mummies or babies? Babies. So our babies get massively affected by the cleaning chemicals that we use.
On the carpet.
On the carpet and on the hard floors. So we call them VOCs. They're volatile organic compounds. That's all the bit that comes out of the spray. It gets heavy particles. It gets trapped in the dust, falls to the ground. Obviously, we have no dust in this house whatsoever. We do. We have quite a lot of it, and so that then traps the dirt. That's the issue, and then our animals and our babies really get affected. Do you know, can you remember what the most toxic things are that we have in our home? See if you can name any of them. I'm looking for the top 6. I know that only looks like I'm looking for 3, all right, but the top 6. See how many of the highly toxic things you might be able to name, either live or on catch-up, all right? No Googling. So, the most toxic things in our home. Can you think of anything that you think might be toxic? What do I go on about all the time that I don't like?
Chemicals.
Well, I don't like chemicals, but it's particular things.
Like hairspray.
Hairsprays, yeah, we're going to talk about personal care products, but there is, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to, you can keep on typing, but these are what they are. All right, we've got antifreeze and bleach and drain cleaner and carpet cleaner. I don't know if you ever remember those massive adverts we had in the UK around clean and vac, and that caused all sorts of problems, particularly in animals. Air fresheners, a big one. In fact, I was just reading an article today about a child who died, and her mother is wondering what she can do because she believes that it's air pollution that's killed her child. Right, so that's really interesting. The Royal College of Nursing came out with an article about the amount of people that are killed by air pollution, and those things that I've named there, most of them are in our homes. So that's the issue. You're right there, Christine. Bleach, hairsprays, paint stripper, oven cleaner, not in my home either. Good for you. That means your lungs will be breathing well. So that was how we started. We started talking about some of the things. So last year, the word of the year, right, in 2019 was climate crisis. Right, bit different this year. What do you think the word of the year will be this year?
COVID.
I think it might be COVID or unprecedented. That might also be word of the year. Because people have said like never before. It's been unprecedented times, like we've never known them before. All right, brought up by COVID. Hope you're still with me. I see I'm a little bit jumpy. Right. Then we got on to speaking about the dirty dozen. Can you remember that?
Yeah.
And what were the dirty dozen to do with?
The fruit and veg that we have in our homes.
Yeah, fruit and veg that we have in our homes. And why are they named the dirty dozen? Do you know?
Because of the top
Let me speak up a bit.
dirtiest fruit and veg.
Can you speak up a little bit? What
They're
makes them
the-
dirty?
Chemicals.
It does. It's the chemicals which are on our fruit and veg that makes them really dirty. I don't know if you can remember any of them, but there's 12 every year. And the 12 this year, the number one, strawberries. It's really interesting, isn't it? So number one is strawberries, number two is spinach, and number three is kale. So these are the really dirty things. What did you want to say?
Let them guess number 4.
Oh, Rebecca said she would like you to guess number 4. It's quite a toughie, I have to say. But if you get any of the dirty dozen, I'll be really impressed. But these are the ones that the Environmental Working Group say have the most amount of chemicals and pesticides on them. So we were talking about our fruit and veg cloth, because that's brilliant at taking pesticides off the outside of things. It can't deal with what has been injected in, but we can deal with what's been sprayed on. And what we want to do is stop ingesting all of those chemicals. They're doing us no good whatsoever. So then we started, well, you said it would be really nice to think about the top tips that we've given this year. Okay, so in a big voice. Right, do you think you can do a big voice? No, you do the first one. All right, so a nice big voice. Can you give us your favourite tip from the Mondays with Miriam? Ella, I'm so glad you love this. I love it too. Honestly, it is. We are never without it. And if, like us, we are quite lazy about when we get things out of the fridge. So when the fruit and veg come in, we clean it first and then put it away. Not carrots, obviously, because you'll bruise the surface. But if you've got apples and bananas or anything else, just give them a clean when they come in. Right, you're a bit of a sleepy reindeer tonight. Okay, right, so tell me a top tip that you have in a nice big voice.
So if you have a lint glove, they're amazing.
What are they amazing for?
Because we've got bunnies and they shed a lot, and we use them to get all the fur and hairs off our jeans and our tops.
All right, so remember with the lint glove, it's a down the way movement,
No, not the way.
not and across the way. All right, so you're going against the grain, and you will feel that one way is rough and one way is smooth. So if you go with the smooth bit, you're going to put the hairs back on, and if you're going with the rough bit, you're going to take the hairs off. So you like it because it removes all the bunny hair. What's your top tip regarding it?
That if there's hairs on it, you can slightly dampen your hand and roll all the hairs off and put it in the bin, and it doesn't stick to you.
That's absolutely true. So if you didn't catch that, when you've got all your hair stuck on here, make your other hand slightly damp, roll it up, and then you can just take the hairs off the top. My other top tip for this one is make sure if you wash it in the washing machine that it goes in a bag on its own. All right, and it needs to go on its own, because otherwise all of the hairs and everything else that are anywhere else will stick on it, and it's not going to get clean. So in a bag on its own. If you don't have one of these, I think it's a bit underrated. I don't think we always talk to you about it. It's not something I use every day, but I love this. I know, Christine, you've said in the past that you keep one in the car all the time just for getting hairs off your jacket. I know my sister does the same. So a brilliant addition to your ENJO family if you haven't got one of those already. Right, so that's 2 tips actually, because we've talked about using it and cleaning it, and we've talked about putting it in the machine. Can you give me another top tip or something that you really like about ENJO?
So with the living
soft cloth. It's hard to say. Can you say it again? It's quite a tongue twister, isn't it? With the living soft cloth. What do you like about it?
It's really handy if you slightly dampen it. If you've got like little hairs that you can't go off with a duster, you can just wipe over it, and if there's anything on the skirting boards, it helps with that.
It's a brilliant cloth, isn't it? Again, a little underrated. It's not in our zone packs, but it's a general damp duster. It's not going to give you a deep clean, but I love it because you can wipe anything with it. So you can wipe the front of the TV or a coffee table or oiled wood or varnished wood. It's a really good catch-all. And I think also, we don't always talk about it, but I think it's a great addition as well. So I do love that. I don't wash it every time. I just grab it out from the cupboard, make things a little damp, and then off you go. All right, so our top tip number 2 is, if you haven't got one of these, I would also encourage you to get one. It's £18. It's not uber expensive, but it will give you really good payback for it. Right, I also want to talk about, if some people contact and say, my all-purpose cloth, I'm just going to grab one from over here. Oh, that was nearly the whole board over. Right, all-purpose cloth. So that's your wipe around cloth around the sink. This one, sometimes people say, it's got a little whiffy. And that's just because we haven't released all of the dirt and the bacteria out of it effectively enough. So you can give it a nice deep soak using our washing up liquid. So remember to give all of your fibres a soak about every 8 weeks, particularly your kitchen ones. 2 teaspoons of this in a bowl of hot water, and if you need, put some on here and just get your nails all the way through it to give it a clean. If you feel that it's still not clean, or if you have had a problem where it's just built up and it hasn't got air dry quick enough outside on the line, then if you put in a tiny scoosh of our calcium dissolver, so cold water just in the bottom of a bowl, and then a scoosh of calcium dissolver, if you put this in and give it a shimmy around, it will deal with all of that for you. And that's also a great tip for skincare. So imagine, this will be hard, but imagine a household where maybe your daughters didn't always rinse out their skincare, but they sprinkle it up in a corner and dump it in the corner of the shower.
I don't do that.
I mean, just imagine.
I'm a reindeer.
That. Imagine if your reindeer had done that in the shower. then you may find that it needs a little remedial action. And if that's the case, then you can use that to clean it through. So if you've got a problem with your skincare, or if you've got a problem with your all-purpose cloth, a little bit of calcium dissolver, cold water, and it will deal with that. That's a great tip, isn't it? Yeah, because what we want is things to last as long as possible. Right, you said a really good tip for if your oven is a bit grotty. What did you want to say? Because it's the time of year where everyone's going to be thinking about ovens. Because of Christmas. I'm going to have to use... Where are you going? Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. That's very helpful, Chris. Nice little tip there. I knew about wiping up proteins with paper. I guess I just try and avoid using any kitchen towel in our house, but I can see that would be really helpful too. Right. Tell me about the oven.
So,
Voice.
when it's looking a bit grotty, if you get the kitchen sponge and you get calcium dissolver.
Wrong one. Which one's
Marble
the
base.
That's the one.
And scrub it on your oven. It definitely works.
It's a really good tip, isn't it? So we know with all of our fibres, we go up in layers. So we have an all-purpose cloth, that's just a wipe around cloth. Remember with ENJO, the law is the darker the fibre, the deeper the clean. So this is a nice wipe around. This is deeper, and this is deeper yet. And so Rebecca is just saying that if you then need an additional help, then that's when you would get our marble base, which I don't have there, and that will just enable you to really work on those stubborn areas. But to help you, like, get your fibre wet and leave it over the bit that you are trying to deal with. And that will just soften it and help you be able to lift up the dirt. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, it's quite a few years ago, but I remember when you were a little girl and you helped me clean the oven.
Oh, yeah.
I like to get on to it early. Then with the oven, and she needed to just leave it lying over the area first, that softened it, and then we were able to clean the oven. So that's a really brilliant tip. Thank you very much. Exactly like Chris said, very clever, very knowledgeable. Marvellous. I would like to talk a little bit about skincare. Do you know how many chemicals, toxic chemicals, you can test the umbilical cord for? That's the bit between the mummy and the baby, when the baby comes out of the mummy. Do you know how many chemicals? Would you think it's a... Well, do you know what? That's a good guess. It's a lot. It's 287. 100 already sounds a lot, doesn't it? So when the baby comes out, 287 toxic chemicals we can find in an average umbilical cord. And of those, 217 talk quarts. Sorry, Chris, I'm very broken. Hopefully a bit better now. Of the 287, 217 are toxic to our brain, and 180 cause cancer, and 208 of those cause birth defects, right? And the toxicity is often about chemical use. So what we're saying by using ENJO is that we're just trying to limit the chemical load about home. I was reading an article tonight before we came on, and it really shocked me. The Global Healing Centre have been doing tests, and they think that on a daily basis we are exposed, this is a very big number, to 2,100,000 toxic chemicals every day. 2,100,000 toxic chemicals. I did it. It's huge, isn't it? 2,100,000 every day. So that's just by, that could be paint, that could be plastics in the car that are giving off, that could be anything that we're putting on our body, particularly on our body on a daily basis is, where is it? I'm looking, it's about 287 average chemicals that a woman is putting on her body every day. That's a gigantic figure. All right, and all we're trying to do, and what we'd like to do with ENJO, is just begin to reduce that loading a little. So lots of people tonight will go and take off their makeup. What would you use if you didn't have ENJO to take your makeup off, do you think?
Cotton balls?
You would use cotton wool balls, exactly that. Now, 2 ENJO iPad solution, exactly. 2 ENJO iPads, well, actually 7, so if you imagine you had one for every day, replaces 4,380 cotton wool pads. 4,380. That's a huge figure, isn't it? All right, so we can have something that's sustainable, something that's not going to cause us problems. So the big toxins are in. Here's the list. It's coming up. It's a big one. So most of the problems are things like phthalates and sodium lauryl sulfate and anything with an izide at the end, all right, or they are all endocrine disruptors as well. So they're affecting our hormones and the way that our hormones function. Right? So that's really important, because what we want to do is remove toxicity, not put that into our system. So here we go. These things, bad things, are found in the majority of baby care products, in shampoo, lotion, oils and creams, on eyebrow, pencil and eyeliners, eyeshadows, lash mascara, blush powder, makeup base, makeup corrector, face cleaner, lipstick, lip gloss, lip balm, lip liner. What did I say to you about lip balm? What could you have? What sort could you have? Organic. Only ones with no nasties in. All right. I actually think that coconut oil is a brilliant catch-all, but my girls were not so impressed with that.
I was.
So they wanted specific lip balm, but I need to have stuff that's not going to be nasty. If it's on your lips, you're eating it. I read an article yesterday. On average, the average woman eats 14 pounds of lipstick in her lifetime. 14 pounds. That's a whole stone of lipstick in her lifetime.
How much?
That's ridiculous. 14 pounds. Like it's like a leg of lipstick. All right, because they put it on and then it comes off because they eat it and they put on a bit more and they put on a bit more and they put on a bit more. Not me, because I don't wear a lot of makeup. But if you wear a lot of makeup, that's a lot of eating of nasties going in. Then we've got hair dyes, shampoos, colour shampoos, hairspray, like Chris said earlier. Ew, exactly. Toothbrush, toothpaste and mouthwash. They often have really bad things in. I was speaking to a lady who had been advised by her dentist, because she came out with a massive rash, to check her toothpaste. Sodium lauryl sulfate. That's the foaming agent that's often in shampoos. That's why we don't have that sort of stuff. And toothpastes. And it can really affect our skin. And obviously it's in our teeth. So if your toothpaste foams up, check what's in it, please. Then we've got all of the wax for taking hairs off. No, thank you. Lightening cream, stuff to do with tampons and wipes. All right, the list of toxicity goes on and on and on. So all I'm asking people is, please do some research, and where you can, don't use it. All right, just be informed about what you're putting on your face. So Emily came back the other day, didn't she, with something. What was it for?
Her lips.
No, not for her lips. What did she cut? She came back with something for her hair.
No, she came back with lips.
And yes, but I'm not talking about that. And you know, you're just trying to get. This is what happens. Sisters try to get sisters into trouble. So it was about her hair. But when she put it on, Michael and I had such an extreme reaction to the chemical spray. And we said, well, just look inside it. And everything had things and names that we couldn't pronounce.
Like,
so we know if you can't pronounce it, it's probably not good for you. All right, so other things that we've done. I'm going to go through a quick list. We've done horse care. We've spoken to Australia. We've spoken to Canada. We've done stuff on the floor system, on the bathroom.
Laundry liquid, helpers.
Yeah, all of those things. And
NUX.
kitchen. NUX, you did a question and answer. Tell me what your favourite episode has been.
Probably.
Okay, I don't know. Right, so I don't know if I've had a favourite episode. I've really enjoyed them all. I've loved questions and answers. I've loved it when you've guested with me. I really have. So thank you, because this year would not have been this year without you lovely lot. And it wouldn't have been this year without your input and your comments and your encouragement. So I just want to say thank you very much, really. It's been good, hasn't it? Now, we're not going away forever. You do not get rid of us that easily. So we are going to be hopping on, aren't we, with specials. And if there are specials, imagine specials around at the end of the year, then we will be coming on to tell you all about those. And next year we will be back. We're just going to think around how we can do that with the way that the internet is presently responding. So we're going to think of a plan, aren't we? And we think that that will work really well. But I want to thank you for your help and your encouragement, and thank you for joining with me. Remember, it's always good to have a reindeer on tap. Remember that you can still get all of the ENJO festive gifts. I love them all. This is probably my favourite. You were talking about this one, the handbag SOS, because you're saying I have that with me all the time. It's true, always in my handbag. I love it. But this, I think, these ones are flying out the door, and this might be my favourite product this year. So that's our mini skin glove with no seams. I know, you must be bored of me talking about it by now, because I am giddy with it. I love it so much. Please get in touch for anything we can do. Don't think you can't ask questions because we're not going live on a Monday. I will be popping up on various fairs anyway, so be warned. And we have had a lovely time, haven't we? In fact, we might even say hello to all these fine people around Christmas. Do you think that would be nice? Just a quick one. While we're doing cleaning of specific things, that might be helpful. Yes? Like pans and things, and cleaning stuff after our oven, befores and afters, all of that. Yep. Have a lovely festive period, everyone. I know it's going to be a bit different this year. Oh, sleepy weather, have to go sustainable. And thank you very much. I will see you all in the new year. Bless you all very much. Stay safe, everybody.